In this video, I will go through masking and inpainting with ComfyUI. This is a very useful addition to your AI workflows to combine with other methods. Often with image generations, you will want to selectively manipulate images, especially images of buildings, in the surroundings, where you want to keep the context consistent. I'll be starting with a default setup, as explained in my previous video, and have the ComfyUI Manager installed. At the start for the checkpoint, I have installed Realistic Vision and loaded this in, and this is for the Stable Diffusion 1.5 version. And for the image loader, I have selected an elevation of a street, and I will be testing it out on changing the central building and keeping the rest of the context the same. You can pick another image, just make sure that the larger dimensions do not go over 1024 pixels. And above, and for the text prompts, I've gone over to the Realistic Vision Civic AI page. And as a base, I've copied their suggestion for the positive and negative prompts, which is a good starting point, and they can be adapted later. At the start, I will also add in a description of my scene. So I'll pick a modern 3-story house. And to put some weighting, I'll put it on blue wall, make the facade a bluish color. And you can put an emphasis on any detail you like, just put it within the same syntax. We then need to add 2 new nodes to mask and generate. I'll go down to the empty space, double click, and type in load image. I will select the load image as a mask. Here you can use any black and white image as a mask if you made one in Photoshop or anywhere else. Or you can also make one directly in here, which I will show. Good trick here is to go to your original image, right click it, press copy clip space. If you then go to your clip space here, you can see that you can go to the mask editor and then edit this image directly here. So here I'll just make a thicker brush and then mask out the areas that I would like to generate. As you can see here, it's quite difficult to get a very accurate mask, so it might be better off for some of the details just generating it within Photoshop and pasting it in. But for this example, it will be good enough. When you've finished your masking, you can close this. You can click over here and then paste clip space. To use this with a case sampler, we will need to use one more node called Set Latent Noise Mask. If I double click, type in Set Latent Noise Mask, and we can connect these together. We then just need to match up the other nodes, so the latent to the samples, and then this latent, the case sampler. Then by adjusting our denoise value here, we can control how much the mask generation keeps to our original image. So first, let's try 0.5, and then cue the prompt. If we zoom in here, you can see that some of our generation has gone blue, including the doors, the shutters, and some of the walls. If you wanted it all to be completely blue, we can try changing the prompts a bit more. But since we set the denoise at 0.5, you can see that it kept quite close to the original image. If I move the original one over across it, you can see how the styles are very aligned. So if we increase the denoise to something like 0.6 or 0.7, and if I cue the prompt again, and now you can see a larger variation in the facade design. Although now the wall is still a light blue, might be because it's trying to match the whiteness of the surrounding facades, but you get the idea of how this is working. You can try setting the denoiser higher and adding more to the description. And now we can try maybe something more modern and extreme. perhaps using the classic reference to Zaha Hadid. So if we go back to our text prompt, at the start, I remove this and update it to a modern apartment and put style of Zaha Hadid in emphasis and put the weighting on that, 1.2. And I can increase the denoise to 0.8. And then cue the prompt. And now immediately you can see a much more dramatic building being generated, and it's still keeping the surrounding context. You can see how the denoise and the weighting on the words make a massive difference. Also, I would like to show you an interesting node for smart masking, whereby you can mask specific elements of an image simply based on text. You can do this through a custom node called clipseg. Install this, go over to the manager over here on the right, click manager, and you can install custom nodes. So search for clipseg and install this top one. I already have it installed. After you do that, you need to restart your ComfyUI. If you do that, when you double click and search for clipseg, you'll get this option up. So for example, I'll type in doors, and I will reduce the threshold to 0.1. Since the details of the doors in our images are very small, that's why we need a low threshold here. Then add in a preview node. Connect that up. And then also link it with our original image. Or also disconnect the sampler so that this doesn't run, since we're just previewing at the moment. You can straight away see here that the two doors are highlighted. So you can see that it's working. I will mention though that for very small details, it is difficult to accurately mask out these areas. So I advise the best to use it for larger features in your image. So a better example for this picture would be, for example, to mask out the sky. So let's try that out. And now you can see that I've done a better job of masking out the sky. Now I can attach this back to our main workflow. So I'll put this mask into our latent noise mask here. We no longer need this one. And then attach the latent to our case sampling. And now we just need to change the prompt. We can remove department and type in stormy sky. Just as an example to show the exaggeration. You go over and then cue the prompt. And now you can see that we have a stormy cloud in the background here. So you get the idea of what you can mask and what you can add in. This masking method is a very powerful tool, which gives you greater control over image generation apps such as Midjourney, and used in combination with other nodes such as ControlNet, which I'll go through in the next video, we can start layering up this workflow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.